talk about your college times, right? So which college were you in?
So I was in Mitabai College.
Okay.
And, like obviously Mitabai is a college where everyone wants to go.
Yeah.
So I did my junior college from Mitabai. Music is my passion, was my passion. And again, instruments is also what I really look forward to. What I really want to do is probably learn a new instrument every year.
There was a phase where your father had a little challenges in terms of business. When was this?
This whole story started in 2011 when on one random day
You're watching CIO News presents Zero Moment of Truth, a startup series and a Shark Tank edition. Today on my episode, I have Rounit Gambhir, the founder of Chefling. Rounit is a 28-year-old young entrepreneur of Chefling and has recently bagged 40 lakhs of funding with 4 sharks by giving them 4% stake at each. Rounit, I have watched all the amplification that's happened on social media. I watched your episode as well, and I'm sure millions of viewers have watched the episode. So शुरू से शुरुआत करते हैं. I want to actually know about you as a person. I want to know about Rounit. So if you can take us back to your childhood, tell us a little bit about what your childhood memories have been, and we can start from there.
Right. So as much as I know, when I was a child, I was a very, a naughty child. That's what I remember. I mean, I don't remember, but obviously my mom told me that. And my mom always said that I am a golden spoon baby. And I always asked why, and that's when she told me, because back in 90, when my sister came into this world, and that's when my father started his business, like his empire. And 5 years down the line, he was set and he was good to go. And then I came, obviously, and in the next 5 years he was doing great in his industry. Probably I remember in 2002 he bought the house where I still stay. And overall, childhood-wise, I was a very naughty child. I used to play a lot, lots of fun and everything. So obviously, because you cannot remember your childhood, right? Yeah. But there are only these bits and pieces which I remember, and I can only see fun in that.
Wonderful. So we can say that all that you wished for as a child, you had it, right? Yes. So great. I think so that talks about your childhood. Now maybe if we can move a little further and talk about your college times, right? So which college were you in?
So I was in Mitabai College. Okay. And like obviously Mitabai is a college where everyone wants to go. Yeah. So I did my junior college from Mitabai, and I was a guitarist back then. Like in 2010 I somehow learned this art of playing the guitar. So I was always very much liked by girls, and a lot of friends I had, and we had this small band, and we used to jam like every probably third day. So music is my passion, was my passion, and again, instruments is also what I really look forward to. What I really want to do is probably learn a new instrument every year. But though it's not been happening since quite a while, but I can play a lot of instruments.
Lovely.
And thanks to my college days for that.
Right. Okay, so we heard all the good side, and I think it's good to remember the good side of our lives. Just also trying to go back to what you mentioned on your Shark Tank episode, that there was a phase where your father had a little challenges in terms of business. When was this? that
Right.
happened?
So basically, this happened, like this whole story started in 2011 when on one random day.
And you were how old at that time?
I was in my first year of junior college. So I would
Okay.
say around 16, 17. So yeah, it was one random morning I still remember. And my mom wakes me up at around 8:30 in the morning and she tells me कि Rounit, उठ factory गिर गई. I was like, factory गिर गई? मतलब it doesn't make any sense, right? So I got up and I remember I was sitting in the hall, and Tabhi we didn't have WhatsApp and stuff. Tabhi I think it was the time of Blackberries. So Blackberry pe someone sent a picture. So pehle I thought ki, okay, maybe it was some slab which came down or something. But when I saw that picture, so the whole factory, like suppose this is the factory, it went down like this. So okay, other than this, so
Sorry, where was this factory? It's
in Bhiwandi.
Bhiwandi. Okay.
And right before it fell, so we had bought these new machines. It's called Dornier Airjet. So basically Airjet is the fastest machine available in textile to manufacture cloth. So we had just installed those machines, not even had a trial run, and one random Friday it fell and everything got literally like into pieces.
Right.
All the machineries, everything. Then came the time of insurance, as much as I remember. So we had an insurance from some private bank, and obviously they said see, it only happened with you, it didn't happen with someone else. And like the paperwork was maybe they said you've signed yours, so you've already signed yours, so we cannot give you any insurance. Yeah, so we didn't get any insurance. So then with all the money we had, like our working capital, my father decided to use that capital to build the factory again. And in fact we also took a loan from Bank of Baroda back then to fund the working capital.
So from the time this incident happened to the time when he decided to start all over again, how long was this period?
It was not even 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like,
Nice.
okay, we'll make this again.
Right.
And, because the timing was like, okay, we've got the new machines, everything is there. We'll get it repaired and probably use the funds from working capital.
Right.
And get additional loan for the working capital.
Okay.
So that's how, and meanwhile the factory was being built, we had completely moved all our manufacturing to outsource model.
Right.
Which was actually what what he should have done, Tabi.
Yeah.
So because he made the factory, there was this debt which started increasing every month and like every year on year.
Yeah.
And as much as I remember, Tabi, like the market sentiment for textile was going downwards.
Okay.
And profitability was always a hit, plus interest rates and everything going up. So that's when the circle of debt started increasing, and finally in 2019 the company got bankrupt.
Okay. I know when in family you go through such times. I'm sure in 2011 you mentioned that all these things started happening, and you were how old? You were...
I was, I think 16, 17. I was in first year of my junior college.
Yeah, so this is the time when you start understanding, and also I think it's a time you somehow feel that you are helpless, or it's that phase. So how did it impact you as a person? I'm just trying to understand a little more deeper, so to know you as a person. Did it really impact you as an individual, your thought process? Because there's lots happening around you.
Right. So I would say it definitely impacted me in a way which I realized much later that impact has affected or has changed me in such a way. So what happened is that 2011 incident happened, and by 2013 I came to know okay, there's a crunch, like there will always gonna be a crunch. Now I had so many friends all of my friends were, like friends' fathers were doing great in business. And I always had this thing in my heart ki, okay, we're getting poorer, and that feeling of helplessness ki, okay, what can I do to probably change the situation. But obviously, like a 16-17-year-older cannot do something massive about such an old industry, right? So it was the acceptance ki, okay, things are falling. Like a small feeling which eventually turned into a big one, and it happened. So I would say it was probably, there was always this pinch inside, but obviously I never expressed it to anyone. And
When did you work before Chefling? Did you work in any companies? When did that happen? Like, did you pick up any, anything to support, or who, like, was it your mother? How was she reacting to or helping you as a child? Just trying to understand, what, because I'll tell you, I know for the fact even at my end, right? We've faced these challenges where we've had the roughest time. Sometimes, probably at my end, it would be a situation where my mother had to think how to get food on the table for us, right? So that has shaped our personality, and that has probably got us where we are today. So trying to understand, from your mother's perspective, how, what kind of thoughts that you got in then, probably a little more.
So I'll tell you a bit more about my mother. So in 2013, she lost her left eye, the vision, right? And it was like, I remember we were in Goa, and she could see some sparkles from her left eye. And she went to a doctor, and the doctor said, okay, it's something temporary, just put these drops and you will be fine. So 3-4 days she started putting these drops, and by the end of 4 days she had lost her vision completely from the left eye. And then she went to a nicer, like, obviously the doctor she went to was nice, but she went to a more specialized doctor, and he said, okay, your retina has detached. So if you would have come on time, so it was fixable, but now it's too late. So basically, when the retina is detached, so you have to go through a process where around 12 hours a day you have to lie down on the bed with your neck like this. So I think I remember I saw her doing this for like 2 months, just for the hope that maybe she will get her vision back, and seeing that part about her, I'm not gonna give up. And that impacted me as a person a lot. Things will go up and down, left and right, but do whatever you have to do, and don't deviate. So this was a big turning point in my life. Like, we've seen a lot of things go up and down 2010 se leke 2020 tak, and this was one part. And so this is like, now she's like super spiritual, like she does her Bhagavad Gita in the morning, and I see her, and it makes me believe in whatever I do more. Like, if you're doing something, do it 100%, or just don't.
Right. Fantastic. So I think I can probably now gauge that what has kind of got that confidence in you to start. I think you started Chefling when you were 25.
Yes.
25. That is 3 years ago. So starting a company at this age, which has a very, the market present. It's very simple to start a restaurant because it's seen, proven. You know what is required to start a restaurant. If it's cloud kitchen now, it's again very easy. But to start something so unique, which is DIY, So one, I can understand the confidence of starting something comes, of course, to how your environment has been, your father restarting his business, so hats off to him, so that courage is there, right?
Yeah.
But to take a risk of such a big, which is starting something DIY, which is not proven in India, where did that confidence come from?
Right. So, like I said on the tank, back in, I don't remember if they've aired this, but so one of my friends wanted to make sushi, okay, and the lockdown just started opening. You were allowed to go to supermarkets, you were allowed to go to, your aju baju ka vegetable shops. So food hall, this place in Bandra, just opened. So, this girl went to food hall and bought 7,000 to 8,000 ka, ingredients, because she wanted to make sushi. Now, okay, she made sushi and it turned out to be amazing. And meanwhile, because it was lockdown, there was nothing to do. So, me, my Jiju, the guy who I called during the tank. So, me, him, and one of his friends, we were just, roaming around and, chilling. And we were randomly discussing why DIY meal kits in India failed. Because they were doing mediocre stuff, like I said, on the tank, no one would buy a pav bhaji kit. Because every mother knows how to make pav bhaji and you get the ingredients everywhere. So, that's when, in that car, that's when it clicked, okay, why not do a sushi DIY kit? Okay, and this was somewhere around April end. Okay, and then it was 1st of June, and you were allowed to go to office if you have work, if you like. And obviously my office was completely empty because of the bankruptcy and everything. So I decided I'll, go to office every day and, just figure out things. So I started doing that, by 9:30 I was here. Then something, amazing came to my life, which is called India Mart. Okay, I randomly started searching for these ingredients, and I started cold calling these people कि यार ये कितना में मिलेगा. And because it was lockdown, they were happy to give me small quantities as well. And the prices were pretty amazing. I was like, what this girl bought for 8,000, I can assemble this for 1,000. Right. And so I started ordering, give me like 3 kilos, 2 kilos, 5 kilos. And so I had everything sorted, like operation wise. And then it came to finance. I knew that mom, dad doesn't have a lot of money, but still, because I'm like, whenever I'm sad, I go to my mom ki yaar, I'm screwed. So, and I told mom ki, Mama, I need 50,000. So, you're like, kya karega? I was like, this is what I want to do for sure. So she gave it to me, and I bought, assembled everything was good to go, and we launched. And on the first day, we sold almost everything. Because at that time the bloggers were also free, right? There were no restaurants to go to, there was not a lot of blogs you can do. They were just doing home cooking, and sushi would definitely be a good content for them. So I sent a lot of kits to a lot of bloggers, and they were super cooperative. Like nobody said, I'm gonna I'll only do a what do you call it? I'm so bad with Instagram.
Collab. Paid collab.
So they made a proper recipe. They put it on the post, and boom, it I got so many orders. And then basically that was my product market fit. Okay, people are buying this. And then I took 1 more lakh from my mom, plus I had around 2.5 to 3 lakhs which I got after selling everything. And that's when I increased my purchase, and then within a year we sold more than around 1,200 kits, and that's how it started.
How much is the kit for, one sushi kit?
Right. So basically, a kit for two, which is a chef's kit, is for around $13.99. But we also launched a cheaper version of it, which is called the sushi starter kit, and that goes around for $7.99.
Okay, got it. Fantastic. Okay, so I think all this while, 3 years you've been on your own, you then decided to, of course, approach Shark Tank and be there. What were the efforts that you put?
Right.
What did it take to really be there and talk in front of those sharks?
Right. So I remember, this day when on my LinkedIn I receive a message. Okay, we really like your brand. Would you like to air on Shark Tank? So I was like, oh dude, this is like a proper scam, and I'm definitely gonna end up paying this guy. So I tell him, like, I was trying to figure out how genuine is he, and then I was like, let's get on a call. So he tried to understand the business, everything, and he was like, Sunday I'll call you, and Sunday we'll do one more extensive call with my team, and then we'll see. So I explained him everything. I just have a sushi kit right now, but I have a R&D of around 8 products, which I've kept it ready. So he was like, cool. And then next morning, I receive a mail from Sony Live, ki this is your form you have to fill. So I was like, okay, this is genuine. So it's form 1, form 2, audition round and screen round. It starts around June, and probably your shoot might happen in December or September. September it starts, December it ends. Mine was September. So yeah, I was there and I was like really nervous ki, okay, will I get a deal? Like, because there you meet so many amazing founders there, chilling with them, you see them talking big numbers, and you're like just a small business and with one product at least. So they, like, all the other founders I met there, they were like pretty amazing too, like very they would help you with ideas and stuff. And then I was like, I'm sure I'm not gonna get a deal, because like obviously when you go to Shark Tank you see all the Purana episodes and see who like
Which one
exactly. So I think I was there, like they call you for 3 days and you have to go every day, and 3rd day is your shoot. 4th day is your shoot actually, and the 4th day you go get ready, and they don't tell you like, okay, aisa nahi hai, okay, your shoot is gonna be at 4 p.m. It is all natural. Okay. Maybe one pitch can go on for 3 hours, and some pitch might probably end in 45. So there's no year. So my pitch, so I was ready by 10:30 in the morning, and my pitch happened around 9:30 in the evening, and you're like, constantly, okay, what's gonna happen? But yeah, so it was my time, and when it's your turn, they call you and they make you sit outside the set, and they'll give you water. They'll, it's okay. They'll motivate you. Like the Sony Live team, they're an amazing team. So yeah, it was my time, and I was like with a heavy heart. I entered heavy heart, and not heavy, but with this hardcore nervousness and anxiety, I entered, and then your pitch happens, and that's it. And then it's all Q&A after that. So once the Q&A started, that's when you take a sigh of relief. Okay, now it's all on you. And I think all the sharks are wonderful. Like they only show you the 15-minute part, but the pitch goes on for 2 hours, and they try to understand every aspect of your business, every aspect about you. And I literally told them everything about what I have shared here. And I think the first person who offered me the deal was Namita.
Correct.
And that was like first 30 minutes of the pitch, and she's talking with Azhar, and I'm like, and then started the Q&A with Piyush, and like they were all like, how can you grow this? What happens if this doesn't work? Like basically everything is covered. in that pitch, and and then they decide if they want to give you a deal. And when literally all the sharks were ready, and I think that was a big win, not for me but for the idea of DIY. Okay, this is a problem solving solution.
Right.
So I think it was a wonderful experience, and I so wish every founder gets a chance. There should be multiple Shark Tanks, and every founder should get a chance to experience this. Yeah.
I have one question. So, I think when we looked at the episode, I saw the sharks were very confident. How did you feel that? What is that? How did you kind of got the knack of, or it just happened on the over the flow? Like, was there a knack of that? Okay, I grabbed. This is something that excited them. Product, the concept, or the market growth, etc. Or you as an entrepreneur, right? What do you think really excited them to come on board?
I think they have taken a bet on me. Okay, he'll definitely make something out of this.
Yeah.
And obviously the second thing, which is the most important, is your business like scalable, and can you do it profitably, right? Like, have you run it profitably until now? The first question. And definitely once you get funded, you have to grow, and profitability is a secondary thing. Like, how can you reach more people is the more important thing. But I believe they believed in me first. They loved the idea. They loved the concept of bringing a restaurant to your home. Like, why go to a restaurant every time? So I think these three things were the main,
Got it.
Yeah.
So you said you got funding, you got the confirmation in September. So since September till now, how has it been working with these sharks?
Right. So basically, when there's a multi-shark deal, okay, so there's this one team who will lead your deal.
Yeah.
So for me, it was Amit Jain sir's team who was leading the deal. And I think I've had 2 to 3 video conferences with him right now. So obviously there's this process of due diligence. So once your show is shot, so probably in a month your due diligence starts. Now due diligence is something which is very complex, right? And it takes time. It takes, they check what you've said on TV matches what's on your books, right?
Papers,
Yes. So fortunately, my due diligence phase has completed. It got completed around in Jan. There are a few changes, like few things they want before the money comes in.
Right.
So we are under that process. Like, for example, my company was a proprietorship, right?
Right.
So they need a private limited. So and private limited, they need these certain things, which takes time.
Right.
So I'm right now in that phase, and probably after this there'll be an agreement stage, and then you get the money.
All right. Okay. Fantastic. So I think this has been a great conversation, and Rounit, I'd really like to compliment one thing about you as a personality, is which I'm sure that all the sharks also saw it, that you're a very genuine, very candid in what you say and how you share about yourself, about the journey that you've had, and I think that's your plus, right? So wonderful on that. This has been a great talk, and I would like to thank you for taking out time, joining us today for this chat. Before we end, I have a small rapid fire that I'm going to be doing with you. I have curated a couple of questions, and let's see how that goes. Yeah. So, your favorite cuisine? Mexican. If not Chefling, what else?
Watches.
Okay. Who's your favorite shark?
Amit sir.
Can you describe your entrepreneur journey in 3 words?
Okay. So I would say, learning, risk, and happy.
Okay, lovely. If you could go back in time and change one decision you made, what would it be?
I would have launched the kits earlier, the new kits earlier.
Okay, lovely. Best piece of advice you'd like to give to entrepreneurs who are about to begin their journey?
Right. would be, don't keep thinking, just go for it. It's not always that you'll fail, it's not always that you'll succeed, right? But consistency, like, do it, be there, learn, and probably go kill it.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Rounit. Thank you.